Welcome back, everyone, to the Alaska Huskies franchise. In the last episode, we watched as these Huskies fought, and they fought valiantly, but they ended up losing 4 games to 2 against those danged old Golden Knights, the rivals from the Pacific Division. And now we're here in the offseason, we're here at the draft, and we're just simulating a couple picks for the CPU, seeing what kind of the talent level is in this draft class. And we're looking at about some 65, 70-plus type of players. And up on the board, Vaskie has a interesting decision to make here. Does he want to go offense or does he want to go defense? And I think what we need to focus on here is getting a defenseman. We drafted a defenseman in Laktianov last season. He's still working his way through the minor league system, the AHL. Now with Kyler Nystrom here up on the board, it's an interesting choice here because he is a Zdeno Chara type of player. Or we could go offensive and we could get Viktor Morozov, which seems like he's a really good offensive piece. But we are going to go with Kyler Nystrom here. He's a 61 overall defenseman, so that was a little disappointing. But when we look at the rest of the talent that's surrounding him, it's around the same range. It's around the right range. Now, the second round pick, we've got a couple decisions here. We could go with the center from Canada, Lind, or we could go with a couple players like Jani Kaltiainen, good offensive player, Kaltiainen. Ulf Gortz is the guy that he's going to go with. A little bit of a project player, about a 63 overall, a little bit better than Nystrom. So we've got some decent players here. Morozov and Lucic, they were guys that were ahead of us that we were considering. They're about a 65. So Red Wings, LA. Maybe they won on that pick. We'll have to find out later. But Kalen Lind is still available, and we're going to go take him. He's a 67. So in this second round, we kind of got a little bit of a bargain there. I like to think that maybe we won the draft. No, I'm just kidding. We definitely did win the draft. We're picking towards the back end. That's not possible. Anyway, let's get talking here about the contracts up on the board here. We're looking at restricted free agents, unrestricted free agents. But I think the first and foremost, the thing that we need to do is we need to get ourselves into a cap space that's viable to go out and re-sign guys like Leon Riegelwood and our custom prospects, because those are guys I want to keep building around. These are guys that I want to keep here. Even though we're building this franchise up, possibly to move on past them, I want to find a core of guys that we can keep. Really, that's what I'm trying to figure out, is how can we manage the money, because these guys are only going to get better with their X factors. How are we going to manage this, and how are we going to build this team moving forward? So we sign our rookies here. Got a couple players here that have left over, like Dylan Andrews here, 2022 fourth rounder for the Huskies. Bottom 6 forward. I mean, maybe we bring him back. He's a 64 overall. It's just kind of like, it's that happy balance, right? So he does accept. We do sign Kalen Lind. We're going to offer Backlund here a contract as well. Elite potential. Gotta like that. And then Ledoux is an interesting one. So there's still some Phoenix Coyotes, Arizona Coyotes holdovers here, like Ledoux that we just weren't calling up because I'm so biased with our guys that we ended up releasing him. I don't have a lot of money to spend on a guy like that. We're also going to release Joe Thornton. He did his job. He did it well as the mentor here in year 2. And as we move on to year 3, I'm looking for these guys to take the next step. I'm looking for our young guys to really progress. I'm thinking that we make the playoffs again, except this time go to the Stanley Cup Finals. That's my goal here. So we sign everybody that we attempted to go out and get, and now it's time to take a look at the free agent list. And man, it's a big one. We got Pasternak, DeBrincat, Forsberg, Tarasenko, JT Miller, Giroux, Letang, Pacioretty. It's a big list, man. And I don't have a lot of money to spend. We got about $17 million in cap space, and that might get you maybe 3 players. That's definitely not going to get you Pasternak, though. At a 7-year contract, not going to work. But we do go out and we trade Nikita Zaitsev, who we acquired last season to be one of our top defensemen from Ottawa. He played an integral role last year, but we're going to go out and trade him to LA and go grab Mata. This is a good player, about an 80 overall. I think he's a little bit better, just a little bit better than Zaitsev, plus he's a little bit younger as well, so he's contract friendly. It's a good, savvy little move by Peter Vaskie. Now, I was looking at Gustav Nyquist. I was looking to see if we could add another offensive piece, but our offense is so good. It was one of the tops in the NHL last year. We need to get focused on a little more defensive presence. So we're going to go after Bunneman here and try to grab him. We also got Kulikov as another defenseman piece. So we're really building up that defensive aspect of our game, the blue line. That's what we're going to try to build up. Now, an update here as to where everybody's going. We got Pasternak going to the Buffalo Sabres, Philip Forsberg to Ottawa, JT Miller. I'm going a little too fast here. I can't even keep up, but you guys can see it up on the screen. Matt Dumba going to Buffalo. So Buffalo actually, and Kevin Fiala going to Buffalo. So Buffalo, Boston, Calgary, they're making some moves, man. They might be a team to watch out for here as we go into season number 3. Now, this isn't every free agent that signs. NHL only gives you a few to look at here, but this is an interesting thing that happened here. So Dirk Van Riegen decided that he didn't want a contract from us. He is moving on. So in the last video, Vaskie expressed to him that we wanted to bring him back, but he didn't oblige. So I don't know what that's all about, Dirk. We'll have to maybe we'll see him later on down the road in this franchise series. But he is now going to be a Edmonton Oiler. So he's out there in the Pacific Division now in the Oilers minor league system. So maybe we'll get an update on Dirk later on down the line. But we got Miles Kinnick. Miles Kinnick is just not progressing. I think it's due to his age. He's about 25 years old. He's not one of these younger guys, so it sucks, but I got to play my best guys. I got to play my best players. Neil Till and Isaac Lopez. This is interesting. Isaac Lopez has been marinating down in that AAA, there's my baseball, AHL level, the minor league system, and he is now our starter. And Neil Till and him are going to split some time. So our young guys are ready. They're ready to take the next step. I don't necessarily want to give Isaac Lopez the job yet. We'll see how that's all going to play out between him and Neil Till. Neil Till is still a good goalie for us. I'm looking forward to him taking the next step here in year number 3. So preseason-wise, we had a winning record. We got Vaskie here leading the team with Riegelwood, 10 points and 9 points apiece. And it looks to be like another good season for the Huskies as we continue to be that really offensive superpower type of team. It's just the goaltending and the defensive side of things has got to get a little bit better. But Neil Till went 3-0 in preseason with a 2.48 goals against average. That's good. That's really good. I love to see that. Really like to see that. So now as we simulate all the way out here to the regular season, we're getting ready to go. Now, guys, I will say that I have not played a single game here in the month of October. So I'm leaning on you guys and bringing this back now in this series. What games do you want for gameplay? What games do you want for CPU versus CPU? You can let me know that in the comment section below. Choose one game for gameplay. Choose one game for CPU. Now, whatever wins, whatever gets the most votes for CPU, that's what I'm going to do. Whatever gets the most votes for gameplay, that's what I'm going to do. So, guys, that's it. That's a really quick video, but I wanted to lay that out for you. I wanted to give you the chance to get that voting back up into this series, a chance to vote on what's the CPU game and what is going to be the user game. So Peter Vaskie, before we end today's video, I interviewed Peter Vaskie. I said, Peter, what was the deal with the Dirk thing? I mean, we just heard how you were working with Dirk, understanding what happened at the very last goal to lose the Western Conference Finals. Like, what happened in those discussions? And he offered me this. Dirk offered this young team something that cannot be replaced. His leadership was something that our team looked up to. I think ultimately when you look at the bigger picture, there's tough calls that need to be made. Our young guys are ready, and Dirk was influential in their development. It's just their time now, and we wish Dirk the best. In negotiations, Dirk wanted something we just couldn't offer. So I'm actually anxious to hear what Dirk Van Riegen has to say about that. Maybe, again, we find him later on down in the series. But just interesting how those talks kind of deteriorated, especially after they seemed to have such a good working relationship. Now, talking about the draft, he said, overall, I'm pleased with our selections in the draft. We knew we needed to focus on the defensive side of things with Nystrom, and we plan a little ahead, grabbing some offensive talent like Lind and Gortz. We look at both of those guys as eventual players to help our core guys on the roster. Now, this was not his quote, but this is just kind of what I'm thinking is Riegelwood, Vaskie, Lazendahl, and Jet. Obviously, guys like Borhoff, Barnaby, Hawk, all these types of players. Like these guys are our core. We don't want to lose them. They all offer a different skill sets than each other, but overall I think that they mesh well together. And then just talking about the free agent acquisitions, he says, well, our guys are getting better. Talking about the salary cap as well. They're getting bigger, faster, and stronger every single season. It's getting to a point now where they're needing to start to get paid, and their talent and production is warranting the type of payment that they're getting. So we believe in those guys, and we need to spend wisely. We think the additions of Bunnaman and Kulikov were good value, and acquiring Olimata was a win as well, although we thank Nikita Zaitsev for his time here. I think those are very political things to say, and I think that when we watch it, Nikita Zaitsev play on the ice, we notice some things. He's a little slow, doesn't necessarily play defense well. I just think that he might do better out in LA. Who knows? I think we got a little younger, good 26-year-old player out of Olimata, and a good overall rating as well. So he's fairly cheap too. So I think Vaskie's making some shrewd moves, and he's really leaning into those young guys. And we're going to see how Neil Till and the Isaac Lopez thing happens in net and see what's going to go on there. But guys, that's it for the video. Leave a like if you like this thing. Happy Easter. I will see you later on in the week for more Huskies action, of course, for more content. Just so you know, Channel Points will be live here on Sunday night. So you'll have Sunday night, Monday night, 2 days to pretty much make your picks and your forms for the contest for Channel Points, and then you'll be able to compete with others to try to buy your custom prospects or upgrade players that you have in certain series. So guys, that's it. Again, happy Easter. I'll see you later on in the week. Leave a like if you like this thing. As always, thanks for watching, and peace.